What if your dog isn't waiting for a better walk, a new toy, or more treats, but for a version of you that you didn't even know they needed? Most owners never figure it out. Not because they don't love their dog, but because no one ever told them. And number 9, almost everyone gets it wrong. Let's begin. 1. Touch them the way they actually want. This one's uncomfortable because it's something we do dozens of times a day and never question. Picture how most people greet a dog, a hand reaching over the top of the head or a big full-body hug. To us, pure affection. But to a dog, a hand dropping onto the skull from above is a slightly threatening gesture, and a hug is a restraint that pins them and steals their escape. Low-level stress, not comfort. A study in Germany found it's remarkably consistent. Dogs dislike being petted on the head, paws, and back legs, and genuinely love the side of the chest, the shoulder, and under the chin. Try the consent test. Pet them 3 seconds, then stop and take your hand away. If they lean back in, that's a yes. If they freeze, turn away, or lick their lips, that's a no. Most dogs say no politely a dozen times before they growl. Learn to hear it. 2. Stop staring them down. You catch your dog mid-crime, the chewed shoe, the trash on the floor, and you lock eyes with them, hard, holding it while you say their name in that voice. You think you're showing disappointment. Your dog reads something completely different. In their original language, a long, hard, unblinking stare isn't a scolding. It's a threat. The exact signal one animal uses to start a confrontation. That low crouch, the head dropping, the eyes going soft and away. That's not guilt. That's appeasement. Your dog saying, "Please, I'm no danger, let's not escalate." And confrontation has a cost. A well-known 2009 study found that confrontational corrections like staring down, pinning, and alpha rolls provoked aggression in a striking share of dogs. So drop the hard stare. Interrupt the behavior with your voice and your body, never a challenge with your eyes. The calmer you stay, the safer you become in their eyes. 3. Let them finish. Checking on you. Your dog wanders over while you're sitting quietly, sniffs your hand, presses their nose to your arm or your face for a moment, and just lingers. And almost on reflex, you reach out and start petting. It feels like connection, but you may have just cut them off mid-sentence. Dogs read the people they love through scent in astonishing detail. Your chemistry tells them whether you're calm, stressed, unwell, or fine. Things your face could never say. That little check-in is deliberate. It's your dog quietly assessing how you're doing today. When you instantly turn it into a petting session, you've made the moment about your need to touch instead of their need to read you. So next time, keep your hands still. Let them finish. Let them gather whatever they came for. And when they're done, when they settle in or look up at you, then answer. You'll be amazed how much more they tell you. 4. Let them rest. There's a belief that sounds completely reasonable. A tired dog is a happy dog. So we add a second walk, a longer fetch, the park after work, and we feel like good owners for it. But here's what surprises almost everyone. An adult dog needs 12 to 14 hours of sleep a day. Puppies need 18 to 20. That's not laziness, it's biology. The same as a growing child. And a chronically under-rested dog looks exactly like an overtired toddler. Jumpy, irritable, unable to focus, overreacting to everything. In some cases, it tips into reactivity and even aggression. A dog who's always pacing, always wound up, often isn't overflowing with energy. They're overtired and can't switch off. So much of what we call a behavior problem is really a rest problem in disguise. Sometimes the most loving thing you can give them isn't another lap around the block. It's a quiet corner, and you, sitting still nearby. 5. Say less, mean more. We talk to our dogs constantly. A running narration of good boy and who's a good puppy and are you hungry, all of it meant with love. But here's what's actually getting through. The average family dog reliably understands around 80 words. The rest, the vast majority of what comes out of your mouth, is beautiful, affectionate, meaningless noise to them. And here's the fascinating part. A 2016 brain imaging study from a university in Budapest found that a dog's brain splits language just like ours, meaning in one hemisphere, tone in the other. And the pleasure center only lit up when the right word and the right warm tone arrived together. Praise only landed as praise when what you said and how you said it matched. So when you flood them with chatter, the words that matter get buried. Say less, mean more. Let your tone carry the truth, because they're reading your voice closer than your vocabulary. 6. Let them lick and chew. That dog who licks the same blanket for 10 minutes or works a bone down to nothing isn't just passing time. Licking and chewing are some of the most powerful self-soothing tools a dog has. The slow, repetitive motion helps release calming, feel-good chemistry in their brain. It's close to what a stressed human gets from deep breathing, which means a lot of annoying chewing is really your dog trying to regulate their own anxiety the only way they know how. So instead of shutting it down, give it a healthy outlet, a lick mat smeared with something tasty, a safe, long-lasting chew, a stuffed toy they have to work at. Offer these before the stressful moments, before guests arrive, before you leave, before the storm rolls in. You're not spoiling them. You're handing an anxious animal a built-in way to calm itself down. Sometimes the kindest thing you can give a dog is something to gnaw on. 7. Let them stop and sniff. To you, a walk is exercise. Distance covered, energy burned, a box checked. So when your dog freezes with their nose buried in a patch of grass, your instinct is a little tug. Come on, let's go. And in that tug, you just interrupted the most important thing in their entire day. A dog's sense of smell is up to 100,000 times sharper than yours, and the scent processing part of their brain is 40 times larger, proportionally. When they sniff, they're reading who passed by, how long ago, male or female, calm or stressed, sick or healthy. It's their newspaper, their social feed, their morning news, all through the nose. A 2019 study in applied animal behavior science found that dogs allowed to sniff freely became measurably more optimistic afterward. So next time, give them 30 seconds instead of a tug. You're not wasting time. You're letting them live. 8. Listen when they say no quietly. Your dog has a whole vocabulary for not right now, and most of it is so quiet you've probably never noticed. The head that turns away, a quick lick of the lips when there's nothing to taste, a yawn at a strange moment, the little freeze where the body goes stiff instead of soft, the half moon of white at the corner of the eye. These aren't random tics, they're full sentences, and they all mean the same thing. I'm uncomfortable. Please give me space. Here's the heartbreak. When a dog sends these signals over and over and nothing changes, the hug continues, the stranger keeps reaching. They slowly learn that asking quietly doesn't work. So they stop asking quietly. The dogs who bite out of nowhere almost never do. They spent years being ignored until the only volume left was a snap. Learn the soft signals, and your dog will never have to shout. 9. Never punish the growl. This one feels backwards, so stay with me. Your dog growls at the vet over a bone when a child climbs on them, and your instinct is to shut it down. No, bad dog. It feels like you're correcting aggression. You're actually doing something dangerous. A growl is not the problem. A growl is the warning label. It's your dog saying, as clearly as they can, I am not okay with this, and I'm about to react. When you punish the growl, you don't remove the fear underneath it. You just teach your dog that warnings get them in trouble, so they stop warning. And a dog who's learned not to growl is the dog who bites with no signal at all. The growl is a gift. It buys you the chance to fix the situation before anyone gets hurt. Thank it, ease the pressure, and figure out what scared them. Never silence it. 10. Keep their name a happy word. Listen to how you say your dog's name across a single day. Buddy, come here, good boy. But also, buddy. No, what did you do? We use their name for affection and for trouble, and we never notice we're doing it. But your dog is keeping track. If their name is the sound that comes right before a scolding as often as a treat, it slowly stops being a happy word and turns into a coin flip. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. And a name that might mean trouble is a name a dog learns to hesitate at. That's how recall quietly breaks. That's why your dog suddenly stops coming when called. So protect the name. Save it for the good stuff. Meals, walks, praise, reunions, and find another way to interrupt the bad. Their name should be the best sound they know. Make hearing it feel like nothing but yes. 11. Tire their brain, not just their body. You can walk a high-energy dog for 2 hours and still come home to a creature bouncing off the walls. Pure physical exercise has a strange way of building fitter, more tireless dogs, not calmer ones. What actually settles a dog is mental work. Their nose and their problem-solving brain burn energy in a way their legs never will. Scatter their kibble in the grass and let them forage for it. Feed a meal out of a puzzle toy instead of a bowl. Hide a treat and tell them to find it. Teach one small new trick. 10 or 15 minutes of real thinking can leave a dog more pleasantly exhausted than a long run. So if you've got a dog who never seems to wind down no matter how far you walk them, the answer probably isn't more miles. It's a job. Give their mind something to chew on, and the body finally rests. 12. Stop repeating your cues. Sit, 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 sit down. Sound familiar? Almost every owner does it. We give a command, the dog doesn't respond instantly, so we say it again, louder and again, until something finally happens. But think about what you're actually teaching. Your dog learns that sit doesn't really mean sit. It means sit somewhere around the 3rd or 4th time, once your voice gets sharp enough. You've quietly trained them to ignore the first request. Trainers call this poisoning the cue, and it's behind a huge amount of the stubborn or selective behavior owners blame on the dog. The fix is simple, but it takes discipline. Say the word once, then wait. Give them a few seconds to actually think. They often need longer than we expect. If nothing happens, help them into it or reset. But don't just repeat yourself. A word you say once and mean outweighs the same word shouted 5 times. 13. When the behavior suddenly changes, think pain first. A dog who was always gentle starts snapping when touched. A cuddler suddenly wants to be left alone. A house-trained dog has accidents. We rush to call it a behavior problem, a phase, even spite. But dogs are masters at hiding pain. It's a survival instinct baked in over thousands of years. And a sudden shift in behavior is very often the first and only clue that something hurts. The dog snapping when you reach for them may not be grumpy. They may have a sore hip, an aching tooth, an ear infection you can't see. Here's the rule worth tattooing on your brain. When a dog's behavior changes fast and for no obvious reason, the vet comes before the trainer. Always. Rule out the body before you blame the mind. So many dogs get punished for being difficult when all along they were just telling us the only way they could that they were hurting. 14. Let them be a dog. Somewhere along the way, we started asking dogs to behave like tidy little roommates. Don't dig, don't roll in that, don't sniff so long, don't get muddy. But digging, rolling, sniffing, shaking off, shredding a cardboard box, these aren't bad habits. They're hardwired, deeply satisfying dog behaviors, the canine version of stretching after a long sit. When you suppress every single one of them, you get a dog who's constantly being told no for simply existing as what they are. So build in room for the dog stuff. Give them a corner of the yard where digging is allowed. Let them roll in the grass. Let the walk get muddy sometimes. Pick the few natural behaviors you truly can't allow. Then loosen your grip on the rest. A dog who's permitted to be a dog, at least somewhere, is far happier and far calmer than one who never is. 15. Read the whole tail, not just the wag. Here's a myth that gets people bitten. A wagging tail means a happy dog. It doesn't. A wag only means the dog is feeling something strongly, and that something could be joy, or it could be tension about to boil over. The details are everything. A loose, sweeping wag that swings the whole back end is a relaxed, friendly dog. But a high, stiff tail vibrating fast at the tip? That's arousal and warning, not welcome. A low tail tucked tight under the body is fear. Even the direction carries meaning. Researchers have found dogs tend to wag more to their right when they feel positive and more to their left when they feel uneasy. So stop reading the tail as a simple on-off switch for friendly. Its stiffness, its speed, the whole body around it. The tail is talking constantly. Most people only ever catch half of what it says. 16. Above all, just be there. Strip away the training and the tricks and the perfect routines. And here's what your dog wants most. You. Not an entertained version of you. Not a productive version. Just your presence. In the same room, doing nothing in particular. Dogs are a deeply social species. They were never built to spend long stretches alone. And the quiet companionship of simply existing near their person is one of the truest comforts they have. You don't have to perform your love. You don't have to fill every moment with play or commands. Sometimes, the most meaningful thing you'll do all day is sit on the floor, let them rest their chin on your leg and stay. That's the whole secret, really. Beneath every signal in this video is one quiet request your dog has been making their entire life. Be with me. So be with them. They won't ask for much more. 16 things. And every single one comes down to the same idea. Your dog has been talking to you their whole life, and all they've ever really wanted is to be understood. You don't have to be a perfect owner. You just have to listen a little closer than you did yesterday. If even one of these made you see your dog differently, do me a favor before you go. Drop a comment telling me which number hit you hardest and your dog's name with it. I read every single one. Subscribe so the next one finds its way to you. Because the better you understand them, the better their whole life gets. And there's no one on earth more deserving of being understood than the friend waiting for you at the door.